Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all in fine fettle. Whatever fettle means, I hope you're in it, because that would be fine, wouldn't it? We already have a couple of comments. I'm going to go straight to them, but not from Comment Corner, just from the main screen tonight. First off, Carly Franklin. Good evening, Carly, and good evening, Kathy. Lovely to have you with us. They say, evening, Stephen Paul, and everyone. Everyone. Rosemary Bowkett says much the same. She says, hi, everyone. Hi, Rosemary Bowkett. Thank you very much for joining us. To all you lovely people, not just those two people, but also Linda Boyce, who says evening all. And by evening all, she means not just evening to you guys, not just evening to me, but also evening to me. This guy, this guy right here. Jackie Draper says evening all, and I assume by association so does Barry Draper. Lovely, lovely people, the Drapers. And not just because they paid us to say that.
Yeah.
Michelle Gallagher says, good evening, everyone. And she's got a little wavy hand as well. So good evening to everybody there. First off, I'm going to do some little bit of explanation. This is the Shanty Sessions live stream episode number 34. That's an amazing amount of Shanty Sessions, especially as that does not include the 21 Lowestoft history sessions with our local legend, Ivan Bunn. I forgot his name from him.
So I make that with collectively we may have done something like 55.
Well, including the two virtually backstage events that we did.
57.
Yeah. Now we've got a sailor amongst our midst. His name is Bill Lyman, and he says hello from Florida, USA, which is funny because, Bill, we didn't know you were going to be in Florida, way down in Florida, but we might have a little song to tempt you into staying put and listening to our live stream episode number 34.
34. Anyway, so as usual, we've got the same usual old squit that we normally have, and that includes the hey, I heard it, Burr.
I've just seen it.
Hey, heard it, Burr. And we want to know, what do you think the word either beaver, but obviously it's missing the letter A, so it doesn't mean the animal.
It does not mean beaver.
No, it's either beaver or beaver.
Or beaver.
Yeah, it could be. And we want to know what you think that means. And what is that all about? Well, if you subscribe regularly, if you kind of tune in regularly, you will know what we're on about. It is the wonderful book by Edward Moore, Suffolk Words and Phrases. And he
nearly
decided,
200 years old.
Yeah, exactly. In 3 years it will be. He decided to document many, as he believed, disappearing words, phrases and colloquialisms native to his beloved Suffolk. And certainly it seems to have done the trick, because many of the words still are used, but a lot of them aren't. Certainly we haven't heard of them. And we choose some of those and ask you what you think they mean. Okay, can't win anything. And we ask you, don't cheat. You know, you only cheat yourself if you cheat. But let us know what you think beaver or beaver means. Linda Boyce, she's straight on it. Look, she says, love the word squit, lol.
Yeah, that's another Suffolk word and phrase.
And Claire Garrett, she says, evening all. She even says it with a G. Evening all sounds very formal, Claire. Maybe next time just put evening all, something like that. Anyway, we want to, if you are a regular subscriber, by the way, as well, you will know that we ask you, we implore you, in fact, to click share.
That little lady right there.
Click it. And that will, all that does really, I guess, is if you think that you enjoy watching and tuning in, listening and joining in, we wonder if other people might too. So just click share. It doesn't cost you anything. And it certainly helps us to reach as many people as we can, which really is the crux of it. It's what we're trying to do, is make sure that as many of us can stay connected through LD2, lockdown 2, and lockdown 1, and everywhere in between through restricted movements. And talking of reaching folks near and far, we've got old Bill Lyman again. Well, roll it down.
I'm rolling my sleeves up, Bill.
Florida, and Marion Bashir over in British Columbia. Hi, Marion. Hope you're well. And then a little bit closer to home, Maggie Clark and Claire Garrett. So sorry, dear boy. Very good. Okay, well, should we start off with a song, since we're 4 minutes and 41 seconds in?
Yes, why not? Let's do that. Let's go for something nice and punchy.
Okay, well, I believe it was last session. In fact, I'm quite sure it was last session. I'm confident it was. I don't think I'm mistaken in saying that last session we sang Come Are You Fisher Lassies, which was written by Ewan Cole, Charles Parker and Peggy Seeger for the BBC radio ballads. And we said, look, if you want an authentic fishing song, one that was actually written properly traditional, you need to go no further than look at a book called The Sang's the Thing. The Sang's the Thing by Sheila Douglas. It's just over there on my bookshelf, a copy of it, and you could do a lot worse than look through that book. It's got some wonderful, authentic, traditional songs, and this one that we're about to do, Paul and myself, is one from Peterhead, from the Moray Firth, and it's called The Fisherman's Wife, or Peterhead Fisherman's Wife. There's also a lovely song in that called The Gutting Quine, and the quine, or quine, is a Gaelic word for girls. We used to call them Maggies down here in Suffolk when the Scottish ladies and men used to come down to chase the herring and to gut them and cure them and pack them. But anyway, this back to this song. It was sung for Sheila Douglas in her book, The Sang's the Thing, by a gentleman called Frank Duthie of Findocty in Peterhead around the late 1950s. And he states that he learned the song from his father, but he did also recognise that it was also based on a much older rhyme known among all the fishing communities along the Moray Firth or the northern coast of Scotland. But anyway, with no further ado, this is The Fisherman's Wife, also known as aka Peterhead Fisherman's Wife.
Who would be a fisherman's wife, to work with a tub and a scrubber and a knife, a diet out fire and a painful bed, and away to the fish in the morning? Here we come pouring in, 3 reefs to the foresail, and there's not a dry stitch to put on our back, but still we're all teetotalers. It's down to the Deans in the middle of the night, with an old syrup tin and a candle for a light, to gather up the pillars, every one of them in sight, so we'll get the line baited in the morning. Here we come pouring in, 3 reefs to the foresail, and there's not a dry stitch to put on our back, but still we're all teetotalers. My poor old father's in the middle of the floor, beating hooks on the tickets and they're hanging on his chair. They're made from horse's hair, for that's the best gear to be going to the fishing in the morning. Here we come pouring in, 3 reefs to the foresail, and there's not a dry stitch to put on our back, but still we're all teetotalers. It's easy for the cobbler sitting in his nook, his big copper kettle hanging on a crook, but we're in the bow and we cannot get a hook. It's all hard work in the morning. Here we come pouring in, 3 reefs to the foresail, and there's not a dry stitch to put on our back, but still we're all teetotalers. It's not the kind of life a gentle girl could endure, with her fingers red raw, with a scrubbing out ashore and a baby on her hip. She's away to carry coal, she'll be getting up early in the morning. Here we come pouring in, 3 reefs to the foresail, and there's not a dry stitch to put on our back, but still we're all teetotalers. It's not a dry stitch to put on our back, but still we're all teetotalers. Okay, so little authentic Gaelic. Bill's
there.
guessed it.
Yeah, Bill has. You guys have been practicing that one.
Oh, Bill, you caught us.
We don't do a song if we haven't practiced it hard and for a long time. Let me tell you that. So look, a couple of messages there. Marie Gallagher, hi guys. Michelle says, hi mom. Mom. Okay. Carly says, love this one. Me and Kathy was singing along, and Michelle, yeah, love singing this one, love doing the harmonies. And I guess we should say actually, now we curated an historical theatre show that was based on the research of some people in northeast Suffolk, and the idea was really to give these people the challenge to research some local and or familial history with the assistance of Suffolk record officers. And then we used professional actors and embellished that with musicians from our shanty chorus and invited musicians to put together a very unique piece of theatre and bring these characters that these guys had researched to life. And Michelle and Carly and Kathy, the aforementioned, and the commenters all took part in that show, and that song was part of it. And not so long ago, maybe was it January this year or last year?
No,
we can't even remember. It was January at one point, not 2019.
Definitely this century.
Yeah, 2020, and we have very fond memories of it, even if those memories do slightly allude to.
Also, the
whatever,
Woods, if give us a shout, Woods household, if you're watching tonight. They usually are. So they were also involved, and wonderful they were as well. Everybody. What was really special about that is that we were tasked to take it to not just as the standard performing spaces, but different places that you would expect to find that kind of performance. Where we really wanted to take the records offices out into the community, so we managed to get it into a few different places. One was a community coffee shop, and a lovely residential home.
Yeah, and a museum.
Of course.
Yeah, and a theatre, obviously. Well, look, a couple more comments. Claire Garrett, nice harmonies, lads. Thank you very much, Claire. It was very nice of you to say so. And Sue Day says, ahoy there
all.
Ahoy there all. And then Lorna Tucker. Well, good.
Hello, Lorna.
Thanks for tuning in, Lorna. She says, great to see those faces. Oh, chuchi. Bless you. Anyway, let's crack on because we've got a lot to do. We have got a lot to do. Oh, look, there you go.
There's the Woods.
The aforementioned Woods. Hello, everyone. Bit late joining tonight. The Ancestors performance was in January of this year. Seems ages ago. Doesn't it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, look.
Should we go with that one?
Yes, we'll go with that one.
Oh, that one.
No.
I was going to go slow on that one.
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, we'll do that then. So we're going to do a song now called Haul Away Joe. And if you are a regular or erstwhile member of our chorus, you will know it as number 7 in your folders. If you're not, it doesn't matter what number you know it as, because we will be bringing the lyrics up on screen that you can sing along. In the Roud Folk Index, I guess we sort of take for granted this wonderful resource, but we still get a lot of people say, what is the Roud Folk Index? You keep mentioning it. And so I guess it might seem a bit boring to the people who do know, but Steve Roud, former librarian from Croydon, he decided that folks are being a librarian and probably familiar with the Dewey Decimalisation System. He decided that folk songs needed their own kind of cataloguing, and he started this index, which was eventually named after himself. And it's a fantastic resource. It's available online, and it records versions of songs, and importantly different titles, variations of which obviously sea shanties have many more than most genres or subgenres within the folk world. And this one, Roud 809. We know a version of this which was sung by Leadbelly, not an obvious.
I love Leadbelly. I was listening to his version of Black Betty.
Oh, I've not heard that.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, it was originally a Chain Gang song.
Yeah. Well, so Leadbelly, not an obvious contender to sing a sea shanty, but he sang this in a performance that was recorded during the 1940s, and I think is either on the Alan Lomax Cultural Archive website and or YouTube. If you can search it online, it's definitely worth checking out. It's also been catalogued into the Classic Maritime Music Smithsonian Folkways recordings, which is another great resource for research and music online and for archiving old folk music. And it's a fairly short song, and I guess for that reason it shouldn't be surprising that it's a short, known as a short drag shanty, used generally exclusively for hauling aft the foresheet or sweating up halyards to take in the slack. I'm sure Bill Lyman will correct me if I'm wrong. Please do, Bill. That's not sarcasm. We generally go to some lengths to make sure that anything we say is authentic and correct, but we certainly do like to be corrected if we are wrong, because we don't want to keep going out saying the wrong thing. But there's any number of versions really of this wonderful song, and including a great arrangement that Paul has put together for us Rogue Shanty boys. Performed at a few festivals. I don't think he's going to do that version now, but Stan Hugel disagrees with what I say, because he says it's a tack and sheet shanty, with a version that includes many more verses, but he does agree that it would have been also known as a halyard. Anyway, I think we're going to let Paul just crack on.
So I'm going to do a slow verse, and then we'll kick in with the tempo.
Ooh,
get that to
little devil.
Get that sheet up.
Let's pop these lyrics
Why
in.
not? Yeah, so everyone can join in at home. Hey, don't you see the black cloud arising? Way haul away, we're gonna haul away, Joe. Hey, don't you see out there on the horizon? Way all away, we're gonna haul away, Joe. Well, when I was a little lad, and so my mother told me, way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. That if I did not kiss the gals, my lips would all grow moldy. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, the good ship is a bolden. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, the sheet is now unfolding. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. King Louis was the king of France before the revolution. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. But then he got his head cut off, which was his constitution. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, we'll haul away together. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. The cook is in the galley, boys, making duff so handy. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. The captain's in his cabin, lads, drinking wine and brandy. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, I'll sing to you of Nancy. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, she's just my cotton fancy. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Well, way haul away, we'll haul for better weather. Way haul away, we'll haul away, Joe. Way haul away, we'll haul away together. Way haul away, we're gonna haul away, Joe.
Okay, so Haul Away Joe, also known as Haul Away for Rosie, Halloway Joe, Halyard Joe, several other different titles.
I think that particular one is a sort of a Finian version, isn't it?
Yes.
Not Northern Irish.
Yeah. So Linda says, hi, Mo. Good to see you listening. Oh, who's that?
Mo? Who's Mo?
Who's Mo? Who's Mo?
Oh, who's Mo?
Where's this Mo?
Who's Mo?
Carly says, it do feel like ages that we did the Ancestors performance. Absolutely, it does. Yeah. We can't even tell the year, Carly. So
it felt like a good thing, so it couldn't have been 2020.
Yeah. Well, no, it was this year. Janet advised us that
I know.
it
She's
was
probably
this year.
right. She usually is. Who's Mo anyway? Oh, where's Curly?
Yeah, Linda, you're going to have to elaborate and let us know who Mo is, or if it's a nickname for somebody. Okay, so look, if you just joined us, what are we? 17:57, 17:58, 17:59, 18 minutes.
18 minutes.
Yeah, there we are. And we would like to know, what do you think beaver means? Not beaver like the animal. Beaver spelt differently, and what it refers to is this wonderful book, Edward Moore, Suffolk Words and Phrases, originally printed 1823. And old Edward Moore felt that there was many traditional Suffolk words, colloquialisms, and phrases were in decline, and he was worried about that, so he put them into print. And this book, the book of his.
Go on, get it so you can show it.
Yeah, this book of his actually went some way to making sure that some of these words didn't disappear into obscurity. Yeah, and it's actually considered quite an important etymological publication. And but certainly some words are not used that we know of. We haven't heard them before, and we choose those words on a weekly basis. And we ask you to guess what it means. So this week's word is beaver. But it's spelled B-E-V-E-R, as you can see. Or it could be pronounced in a different way. We don't go as far as pronunciations, but let us know what you think it might mean. You can be serious, or you can be jokey, gestial, but don't cheat, and you don't win anything.
Yeah, don't expect
much at all. No. Okay, well,
before we go to another song, let's say thank you to our sponsors for the evening.
Yes.
We are exceptionally grateful to People's Health Trust. They not only have been funding this project for well over a year, they've also continued that funding through this lockdown and pandemic season. Yeah, they've locked it down all right for us. So thank you very much to People's Health Trust. They've been funding us through the Active Communities Programme, which means that we've been lucky enough to work with all kinds of people from all ages, 2 years young to 90 years young, for all kinds of experience and and knowledge of music, from people that are experienced and accomplished musicians to people just exploring their love of folk and sea shanties and music in general. So we thank them very much for their continued support, for making it possible for us to continue to engage with the wider community and also to grow that community online, as we have done with these live stream episodes, of which this is number 34. Now, you can view this, as you probably are, via our Facebook pages, the Rogue Shanty Chorus, or perhaps even the Rogue Shanty Boys. But you can also find us on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. And if you wanted any higher definition, so you can see all of the spots and warts, you can find us on YouTube for what was it, Ultra 4D, isn't it?
Well, we broadcast in ultra high def 4K, but YouTube downplays it to 1080, and Facebook downgrades it even further to 720. So if you want to see the crow's feet, go to YouTube, and you might get it in 1080. But I don't think anyone sees the 4K that we're seeing on screen, which is just as well. Anyway, look, this is a song called Mexico, or Round the Bay of Mexico, or the Bay of Mexico, or The Place That I Belong. And I think probably that has given it away, almost all the lyrics for the whole song, in fact. But there's a great version. I say a great version by Alan Lomax. That's never quite correct, but a version that was a field recording made by Alan Lomax in 1930, as early as 1935. Alan Lomax enlisted the help of a lady called Mary Elizabeth Barnacle, quite a posh sounding name, but she was an ethnomusicologist, and she had a real interest in making sure, even back then, that traditional music was kept, catalogued, documented, and returned on to the next generation. And there were two folk singers, Henry Lundy and Pappy, featured on Lomax's produced album called Deep River of Song, and they were from the Bahamas in Nassau, and quite a few of our songs actually are, and they recorded this version of this called Round the Bay of Mexico. So we'll bring lyrics up. Round the Bay of Mexico, way up Louisiana, Mexico is the place that I belong in. Round the Bay of Mexico, all around the Bay of Mexico, way up Louisiana, Mexico is the place that I belong in. Round the Bay of Mexico, when I was young and in me prime, way up Louisiana, pretty girls came around in line. Round the Bay of Mexico, all around the Bay of Mexico, way up Louisiana, Mexico is the place that I belong in. Round the Bay of Mexico, them Nassau gals don't wear no comb. Way up Louisiana, comb their hair with a kipper backbone. Round the Bay of Mexico, all around the Bay of Mexico, way up Louisiana, Mexico is the place that I belong in. Round the Bay of Mexico, but now I'm old and I'm going gray. Way up Louisiana, pretty gals walk the other way. Round the Bay of Mexico, all around the Bay of Mexico, way up Louisiana, Mexico is the place that I belong in. Round the Bay of Mexico, yeah, Mexico is the place that I belong in. Round the Bay of Mexico. Whoa! Okay, so let's get the album lyrics out of the way. Paul's popping down onto the comments corner, and I think he's going to... Let's pop him on solo.
Yeah, I'm going to go to some of these comments. such as Monica Manning. She says, hi, everyone. Hi, Monica. Thank you for joining us. And Pat Briggs, wonderful Pat. She says, lovely to be with you. Well, it's lovely to have you with us. So thank you very much. Angie Ainsworth says, hello from Milton Keynes. Nice to see you. It's nice to see you all the way from MK. And she also says, just poured a glass of Sauvignon Blanc. Cheers. Ooh. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Pat Briggs said, love that one. And thank you very much. Marion Bouchette from Canada, British Columbia. Whatever the broadcast reception quality, your cheerful faces come through to brighten our days. I haven't heard that euphemism before. No. But thank you very much, Marion. I know it's meant in good faith. Amanda Miranda says, greetings from the East Coast of the US. East Coast represent. It's the middle of the workday here, but this is taking me right back to an evening at the pub before the shutdowns. Yeah.
Oh, that is a lovely message. Thank you, Amanda. Amanda Miranda.
We feel that one too. So thank you very much. Bill Lyman, no need to talk about it. Here's a different version sung slowly with a banjo.
Ooh.
Yeah, so give that a good look, everybody. I'd love to hear that with a banjo. Bill, we're still interested in having you on, but, well, we're not one to be.
Yeah, Bill, get your people to get in touch with our people. Before you can do that, we're going to have to get some people. But we would love to have you on because you sound like a fascinating guy. And I think your knowledge of all things nautical eclipses any knowledge we might combined have. So we would love to get you on at some point if you have a decent Wi-Fi connection and a smartphone on your ship there. I guess you do, since you comment and manage to tune in. So we wish you well, sir. We wish you a safe voyage, and we wish you would come on our stream. But for now, let's do another song, shall we?
All right. This one's for Bill out there in the US and for Amanda Miranda, also in the US. And it's something Bill mentioned earlier. Way down in Florida, roll the woodpile down. Now, Hugel actually had this as the title of Haul the Woodpile Down. Also, it'd been indexed mistakenly as Hold the Woodpile Down. Yeah, probably originated in the West Indies of American South and was popular at sea right up to the end, as one of Hugel's sources remembers, sung on board as late as 1920. Technically, this could have been entered under Hold the Woodpile Down. However, that entry kept making references to Roll the Woodpile Down. So that's what we're going to stick with. Roll the Woodpile Down. And it goes like this. Way down south where the cocks do crow, way down in Florida, the gals all dance to the old banjo and we roll the woodpile down. We're rolling, rolling, rolling the whole world round. That young girl of mine's on the Georgia line and we'll roll the woodpile down. When I was a young man in my prime, way down in Florida, I'd take them young girls 2 at a time and we'll roll the woodpile down. Rolling, rolling, rolling the whole world round. That young girl of mine's on the Georgia line and we'll roll the woodpile down. We'll roll him high and we'll roll him low. Way down in Florida, we'll heave him up and away we'll go and we'll roll the woodpile down. Rolling, rolling, rolling the whole world round. That young girl of mine's on the Georgia line and we'll roll the woodpile down. Oh, rouse and buster is the cry way down in Florida. A young man's wage is never high. We'll roll the woodpile down. Rolling, rolling, we're rolling the whole world round. That young girl of mine's on the Georgia line and we'll roll the woodpile down. Oh, Curly goes on the old rantan way down in Florida. Curly's just a down east man. We'll roll the woodpile down. We're rolling, we are rolling, yes, we're rolling the whole world round. That young girl of mine's on the Georgia line and we'll roll the woodpile down. One more heave and that'll do, way down in Florida, for we're the bullies for to kick her through. Roll the woodpile down. We're rolling, rolling, we are rolling the whole world round. That young girl of mine's on the Georgia line and we'll roll the woodpile down. Rolling, rolling, we are rolling the whole world round. That young girl of mine's on the Georgia line and we'll roll the woodpile down. Okay, so that's for those who'd like to know, that's round 4443, 4,400
43, and it's a pumping or a capstan shanty, and we took the liberty of Baudelarizing some of the lyrics in that. And if you want to know what Baudelarizing is, well, I'm going to tell you. I'm well aware that a lot of people watching probably do know, but to Baudelarize is to remove outdated or inappropriate content from something artistically. And obviously it happens to be something that occurs in folk music because not just folk music, in fact, in music
I don't
a lot.
think it happens much in rap music, does it?
Well, it doesn't seem to be, no. But it was when times were different, and it was considered acceptable to use certain words or phrases or slurs, racial slurs, then they were included in the lyrics. And obviously when they're put into print, for authenticity and to make sure that correct lyrics were recorded and used, generally in publication, original words were used, which absolutely would be considered quite offensive now, particularly in the climate of this year with Black Lives Matter movement. And so we've removed some words from that, and we do generally in a lot of songs. And we spoke about Stan Hugel earlier, actually, and that was a criticism that was levied at Stan often, in fact, by many of the other shantymen and big shanty folk singers of the time. Before Stan was really the big I am of the shanty world. It's difficult to think of a more well-known shanty singer than Stan Hugel. Really, certainly he was absolutely up there, and he was the last professional shanty singer aboard a ship. And if there wasn't much he knew about shanties, it wasn't really considered worth knowing. But he would often Baudelarize lyrics, and quite simply he would say, otherwise they won't get heard, they won't get played on radio, they won't get shared in schools, they won't reach new generations. So there's two reasons, I guess, to Baudelarize something. One is for to avoid poor taste of repeating something that's considered offensive, and one is to make sure that it continues to get heard, and we've done it for both reasons. So and
there might be some people out there that think that's not the right thing to do. Frankly, we don't care that much, to be honest, if they think that. I think as ever, sometimes you're unaware that you're causing offense, but once you know that a certain word is offensive and you continue to use it, then you are just using it to cause offense.
Yeah. Anyway, look, let's move on, because we're going to cause offense. We're going to do now.
Should we do some rowing?
Yeah, the only people I think this might be offensive to is proper Scots people, because they might be offended at us trying to sing in Scots Gaelic. But this is a lovely song. It's number 14 in the Rogue Shanty Chorus repertoire. It's known as Shalaf Coriowen or Beowen, which is Scots Gaelic, and which means Owen's boat or Owen's coracle. And it's a portabile, which is a lovely folk phrase, which means tune from the mouth, which I guess all folk songs really are, certainly non-instrumental folk songs that were sung along to. And a lot of people believe that these portabiles were developed when the playing of the bagpipes were banned during the Battle of, I'm going to say Culloden, but many people correct me and say it's Culloden, in the mid 18th century. And anyway, this is originally this would be sung extremely fast in the kind of tempo or speed of a strathspey or a kind of a version reel. We do it as fast as we can, and I guess we probably have some grudging respect from an authentic Scots folk singer, but I don't think we quite reach the heady tempo that they might, the brisk speed.
Should we start it slow in case anyone wants to join in?
No.
Okay.
Let's pop the lyrics up for people anyway, in case they want to join in. No, we don't have the lyrics. No, never mind. Well, you're not going to join in then, I don't think, but we're going to sing this as a little round for you anyway. Shalaf Corio, and this Coagraficatera, Shalaf Corio, the Shakatera Rua Van Bion, 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 the Shakatera Rua Van Bion, 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 Skipper, Bion, Bion, the Shakatera Rua Van Bion, 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 Skipper, Bion, Bion, the Shakatera Rua Van Bion.
beyond, beyond, skipper beyond, beyond, the shakatera ruavan, shalafrodio, and the stola skipper beyond, the shakatera ruavan, beyond, 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 the skipper beyond, beyond, shakatera ruavan.
There you go. And the ruavan, or it kind of as you pronounce it, as it looks on the page, it's ruavan, which is ruavan is a kind of a promontory which juts out into Loch Scavaig on the southernmost tip of the Suirnestri, which falls into the sea at 500 meters. I hope I pronounced that right. The Suirnestri. Probably didn't, but anyway, that's Shalaf Coriowan, and I'm going to pop to a couple of comments. Yeah, Angie.
Thank you very much, Angie. She said brilliant. It's very kind.
Oh, I should put a pink heart in as well. Well, let's give him a song.
Yeah,
another song.
I think we should go for one from the west side of our fair country, particularly Liverpool. This you will find in the Round Index as number 1757, and it's called Maggie May, a traditional Liverpool folk song about a prostitute who robbed a homeward bounder, a sailor coming home from a round trip. It's been described as a folklore song of Liverpool origin, but immensely popular among seamen all over the world. It became widely circulated in a skiffle version from the late 50s. I'm trying to think who did that skiffle version.
London, Chas McDevitt?
No, it was a group. Was it?
Cavemen?
No. Anyway, well, I'll try and think of that. And now Lloyd sang Maggie May in 56 on his Riverside album, English Drinking Songs. And it really is one of the last flings of sailor balladry. It's a song that's found its way into every ship, and yet none of the songbooks, due to its content. Everybody's sung this one. It's often referred to as Liverpool's unofficial national anthem. It's a rollicking song that must be known to every Liverpudlian. A fragment of it was, after all, recorded by the Beatles on the Let It Be album. And
Cavemen, that's what it said. They were the cavemen, weren't they?
The Beatles?
Yeah.
No.
Well, they're not known as cavemen before.
No.
No.
If I'm wrong about that,
I should think Paul is not wrong. If there is a more expert Beatles trivia man watching out there, I'd like to hear of him.
I wouldn't. I would not. Anyway, Maggie May.
So a couple of people asked about this little thing hanging up on the.
What is that little thing
hanging up on the wall? I'm not talking about Paul. This little Ibanez piccolo guitar. It's a beautiful thing. EWP14WB is the boring description. And a couple of people said, "Oh, is that just for show?" Along with the uke. Well, it's not. I'll have you know. And I'm gonna play it. It's a beautiful thing. It's you play it with the same fingering guitar. But with podgy fingers, it doesn't always work well. It also doesn't work because I haven't got a strap on. So if I can get a strap on, I can play it a lot better. And anyway, but usually it's not been tuned, and it's not tuned in the same way as a normal guitar. And I couldn't remember which tune you put two of the strings onto. So I have for now. I'll give you a go, and if I end up dropping the guitar because I haven't got a strap on, don't you come blaming me now, will you?
Anyway, we're going to flash up the lyrics for you because we'd love to know that you're singing along. This is number 35 in the Rogue Shanty Chorus folder.
Yeah, and if I just drop down like this, that's because I need to rest it on my knee. In fact, I might just get something ready.
Oh, this is all going terribly wrong.
Yeah. No.
Is it because it's so heavy?
Yeah.
You need to take the weight. Now come on, you young sailors, and listen to me plead. And when you've heard me tell, you'll pity me.
Pity me?
For I was a fool in the port of Liverpool the very first time I came home from sea. Now I've paid off at home from Sierra Leone. £3.10 a month it was me pay. But I wasted all my tin while drinking up the gin with a pretty little girl called Maggie May. Now well do I remember when I first met Maggie May. She was cruising up and down in Canning Place. She was dressed up mighty fine, like the frigate of the line. So being a young sailor, I gave chase. I kept right on her track, she took the other tack. I caught her and I broke her mizzen line. The next morning I awoke with a head more bent than broke. No coat, no vest, no trousers could I find. I asked her where they were. She said, my good sir, they're down at Park Lane Pawn Shop number 9.
Number 9?
You've had your cake and bun. It's time for you to run, or you'll never make the dockside lad in time. To the pawn shop I did go, but me trousers didn't show. The police came and took that girl away. The judge, he guilty found her of robbing a homeward bounder, so now she's doing time in Rodney Bay. Oh, Maggie, Maggie May, they've taken you away. No more to roam alone down Canning Place. For you robbed too many whalers and poxed too many sailors. Now you'll never see those blind street anymore.
Okay, well, the Ibanez stood up well to not having a strap on. So, well, anyway, so that's Maggie May, round 1757, also in the Ballad Folk Index, that FAE 03520, but a little more lengthy a number to remember. The Quarrymen, there you go, Janet.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah,
They were also called the Silver Beatles.
I think it might be the Quarrymen. I believe they're a group formed by John Lennon and eventually evolved into the Beatles. There you go. So I was close, wasn't I, with Cavemen?
Yeah, you were actually, to be fair. You were. Also with it was John Lennon and Pete Wooten, his band, I think, but he didn't make the cut to stay with the Beatles.
Poor old Pete.
Yeah, and then Paul McCartney joined, and then they became the Silver Beatles, and George Harrison joined because he could play raunchy, and then eventually Ringo also sat on the kit. Anyway, that's enough about the Beatles.
Yeah. Richard Clark says, great song. Yeah, it is, Richard. And we're sorry that we changed that. Maggie Clark said, any relation? Maggie Clark says 3 rounds of applause or 3 claps. Anyway, let's pop to our word of the week. And that is beaver by Edward Moore, collected as a word in the Suffolk Words and Phrases from his native Suffolk. And we want to know what you think it might mean. I don't think we've had any guesses yet.
No, we haven't actually.
Yeah.
We've had more guesses about the Beatles names.
We have, look, and including one from Marianne, which says, and they performed in the Cavern Club. That's probably why you thought
exactly why you thought that.
Well, no, I did know. I've been to the Cavern Club, and I knew that's a separate thing. I was grasping, I was reaching, and but the internet came to my aid. So thank you. Okay, well,
I'm gonna have a guess at beaver. Is it the way someone conducts themselves? I don't like your beaver.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to do now. We're going to do a song called the Mingulay Boat Song, and John, wonderful deep bass voice in our Road Shanty chorus. He leads this, and it sounds absolutely fine when he sings it. So we're going to dedicate this one to John. Sally, if you're watching, let us know, and please let John know that we miss him and we miss his voice and we miss you all.
Oh, we've had a guest come in.
Oh, we have actually, haven't we?
Go on, then.
Jackie Draper says bever. Is it a bevy beer?
Ooh,
good. Yeah,
not bad.
Linda Boy says bever, working hard, beavering away. Don't know. Could be.
Certainly not willing to tell you.
Yeah, could be. Who knows?
Anyway, this lovely, lovely song, the Mingulay Boat Song.
Yeah. Heel ya ho, boys, let her go, boys. Heave her head round to the weather. Heel ya ho, boys, let her go, boys. Sailing homeward to Mingulay. What care we though white the minches? What care we, boys, the wind and weather, when we know that every inch is closer homeward to Mingulay? Heel ya ho, boys, let her go, boys, heave her head round to the weather. Heel ya ho, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homeward to Mingulay. Wives are waiting by the pier head, gazing seaward from the heather. Heave her head round and we'll anchor ere the sun sets on Mingulay. Heel ya ho, boys, let her go, boys, heave her head round to the weather. Heel ya ho, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homeward to Mingulay. Ships returning, heavy laden, mothers hauling, bands are crying. We'll return, boys, when the sun sets. We'll return home to Mingulay. Heel ya ho, boys, let her go, boys, heave her head round to the weather. Heel ya ho, boys, let her go, boys, sailing homeward to Mingulay. Sailing homeward to Mingulay, sailing homeward to Mingulay, sailing homeward to Mingulay. Okay, Sir Hugh S. Robertson wrote that, and lovely, beautiful song it is too. Let's get rid of them lyrics, and we pop a couple of comments out. Mingulay Boat Song, another of my favourites, beautifully sung. Thank you very much. Sweet tune. Yeah, Claire Garrett. And Maggie M. Clark says, I'm pretty sure we all love this one. Yeah, we do, actually. I've yet to hear someone say, unlike, let's think, for example, The Unnatural Murderer, where people say, don't like that one. In our chorus, I've never heard anyone say they don't like the Mingulay Boat Song. Beautiful, yeah. Linda Boyce goes so far as to say my very favourite, and Angie Ainsworth says sing along to that one. Well, that's a win for us, Angie. If at least one person is singing along, and I believe there are more, then it's worth spending a bit of time with this one to do that. Bill Lyman says, love that one. I have a friend that plays the penny whistle along with me. Oh, there you go. And actually, Bill, we missed a comment earlier. Beaver to be certain.
Could be. Could it mean to be certain? Yeah. Could be.
To be sure.
I tell you who else plays a mean penny whistle, and that's Michelle Gallagher.
She does, in fact, doesn't she?
When I say a mean one, I don't mean it's an angry,
no,
bad-tempered penny whistle.
No.
Although I'm sure it can be when the notes don't come, but she plays it very well and has played it for us.
Yeah. Okay, well, what are we going to do? We're whipping through tonight.
Yeah, we are actually, aren't we?
I think we.
Well, we've got. Let's go for the Mary Ellen Carter. This is in our repertoire for the Road Shanty Chorus. Now, I'm just going to let you know, if you don't know, the Road Shanty Chorus is a group of people that meet in the Seagull Theatre on alternate Tuesday nights. Usually, when we're not in lockdown, they meet, and they're a lovely bunch of people, and they look somewhat like this. On a good day, they look like this. In fact, there's even more than appears in this photo. This was for a show that we
nothing's recent, is it?
No, a show that we conducted at the Seagull Theatre. It's sold right out because of all those lovely people and the way they tackle the material of sea shanties. And we are very lucky to have a great big number of them. They come along, they sing their hearts out, they love the material of those sea shanties and nautical songs, and then they go home.
Yeah, but on that note, this was as Paul mentioned, this was from a show that the Rogue Shanty Chorus did called a Shoddy Night In, and there's a long story to why we called it that, and it's based on a local to where we kind of are interested in, which is Lowestoft and Waveney, North Suffolk, and the coastal areas. And you have to pin us down for the next explanation another time. But we have been trying to put on another show really all through this year. We've got a show in the books called Songs of the Sea, featuring the showcase of our wonderful Rogue Shanty Chorus. We were going to perform it in May, and obviously that didn't happen. We kind of optimistically rescheduled it to October. That came and went. Couldn't happen then either.
Just didn't.
No. And so we cautiously and optimistically rescheduled it for Sunday, the 23rd of May, 2021. And we hope that will happen. We're already kind of mostly sold out. We were heading towards a fairly full house. We've never done a show with the Rogue Shanty Chorus that hasn't sold out every single seat yet. And so we don't want to make that a habit. But if you are local to Lowestoft and you would like to support the Rogue Shanty Chorus, you would like to see some wonderful people singing authentic music from the communities of Lowestoft from bygone years, please book to see that. If you book and for some reason we still can't perform it, we will move the date and your ticket will be honoured. But the booking is open for Songs of the Sea, Sunday the 23rd of May 2021, by and with the Rogue Shanty Chorus, and it's a late matinee at 4 p.m. So you can book to see that at the Seagull Theatre in Lowestoft. www.theseagull.co.uk.
And if you've not seen one of our shows before, we're sure that you'll enjoy it, because not only, as Stephen said, do we have a fine chorus singing these wonderful songs, but we also work in some historical context and a little bit of humour. We've got a fine storyteller in Kevin. If you have seen one of our shows before, do come back. I think you'll find that all of them are quite different. They obviously centre around Songs of the Sea and sea shanties, but they each have their own quirky themes.
Yeah. So we're going to do now. We're going to mix up a song that we do with our shanty chorus called Randy Dandio. You guys, you'll know it's 37 if you're numbered, and there's kind of a fair bit of information about this, really. Stan Hugel was one of the only people to claim to represent an authentic version of this song in his book, The Shanties from the Seven Seas. I could just about reach that if I wanted to. And he got it from a Barjan friend of his called Harding. And he sung it aboard a Nova Scotian bark in which he'd once shipped. This absolutely was one that was bowdlerized, or as Hugel said, the true lyrics had to be camouflaged, was a word he often used. But he did, however, kind of assert that it took the words he used took the meaning of the song closer towards the original. I'm not quite sure how that works. We'd have to see both to know. But you can guess what word has been bowdlerized or replaced. Anyway, so this is Randy Dandio.
Number 37, if you have it in your folder. If not, I'll tell you what we'll do. We are going to put the lyrics right up on screen for you so you can sing along. We'd love to know that you're singing along, and please do.
Yeah. Now we are ready to head for the Horn, where roll and go. Our boots and our clothes, boys, are all in the pond to me, rollicking Randy Dandio. Heave a a pole, oh, heave away, way, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables all start to be rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Soon we'll be warping around through the logs, way, roll and go, where the pretty young gals all come down in their flocks to be rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Heave a pole, oh, heave away, way, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables all stored to me rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Come breast the bars, bullies, and heave her away, way, roll and go. For soon we'll be rolling away down the bay to be rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Heave a pole, oh, heave away, way, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables all stored to me rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Sing goodbye to Sally and goodbye to Sue, way, roll and go. For we are the boils who can kick her through to be rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Heave a pole, heave away, way, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables all stored to be rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Oh man, the stout capstan and heave with a will, way, roll and go. For soon we'll be driving away down the hill to be rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Heave a pole, oh, heave away, way, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables all stored to me rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Heave away, bullies, ye perished wigwams, way, roll and go. Take your hands from your pockets and don't suck your thumbs to be rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Heave a pole, oh, heave away, way, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables all stored to me rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Roster up, bullies, the wind's drawing free, way, roll and go. Let's get the glad rags on and drive her to sea to be rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Heave a pole, oh, heave away, way, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables all stored to me rollicking, randy dandy, oh. We're outward bound for Valipole Bay, way, roll and go. Cracking the lads, 'tis a hell of a way to be rollicking, randy dandy, oh. Heave a pole, oh, heave away, way, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cables all stored to me rollicking, randy dandy, yo. Okay, so randy dandy, let's click those lyrics out. And Maggie Clark says, another favorite, 3 claps. And Janice Marjoram just says, hi, Janice. Where you been, Janice? First time we heard from you this evening. Hope you're okay, Janice. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And if you would, unless you've already done it, in which case don't, because then it becomes a thing, please click share. Click it right there. And just let us know that you love us, because we get some shares then. But don't do it if you don't think nobody else would enjoy it. If you're just doing it for the sake of it, please don't, because we'll
please do.
Yeah,
please just click share.
Click share,
even if you don't want to, even if you're not sure what it entails. And I'll tell you what it entails right now. Basically, for anybody that clicks share, it means that people will see that in their feed, in their social media feed. So people that you're friends with, your actual friends, your family, your acquaintances, your connections,
real old friends,
they will see that you've been enjoying the Rogue Shanty Chorus Shanty Sessions, particularly this episode number 34, and it means that you'll share it amongst them, so that we might be able to reach a few more people that didn't otherwise know what on earth we're doing here on a Tuesday night.
What are we doing? Well, listen, hope your experience of lockdown 2 is going okay, and you're faring well in every sense of the word, physically, emotionally, mentally, and creatively. Yeah. And we hope that whatever country you're in, whether you're actually in a proper lockdown or just the general global pandemic, you're finding kindness given to you by other people. And we want to say thank you for the kindness you showed to us and the encouragement, and for tuning in. And I don't know, sort of stuff like that, anyway, look, Paul is going to do your song now. You can talk about it. I haven't heard or sung this one for probably
since we were sitting on the floor at primary school.
25 years, I'd say, at least.
This one's for our North American friends, of which there's a couple out there tonight, so hope you enjoy this one. I'm going to give it a little bit of context. Until the 19th century, only adventurers who sought their fortunes as trappers and traders of beaver, and that's not beaver or beaver or beaver, which is our word of the week. Beaver ventured as far west as the Missouri River. Most of these Canadian and US voyageurs in the fur trade era were loners who became friendly with and sometimes married Native Americans. Some lyrics of this song, heard by and before 1860, tell the story of a trader who fell in love with the daughter of the Oneida Iroquois chief Shenandoah, who lived 1710 to 1816. So quite a decent lifespan.
I've got something to add to that. You mentioned the Iroquois tribe, didn't you?
Yes,
and
I called it the Iroquois, but
for anyone who is a fan of kind of 90s funk, Jamiroquai is named after the Iroquois tribe. They're particularly a musical bunch, and JK added the word jam, as in like a musical jam, to the Iroquois tribe. Jamiroquai.
Definitely musical jam. It wasn't just like.
I'll leave you to it.
All right. So he was a co-founder of the Oneida Academy, which became the Hamilton College in Clinton, New York. In fact, he's buried on the campus grounds, is the chief of the Iroquois, or the Iroquois, as Stephen pronounces it. Iroquois. Shenandoah probably came from the American or Canadian voyageurs, who were great singers. In the early days of America, rivers and canals were the chief trade and passenger routes. Boatmen were an important class. Shenandoah was a celebrated Indian chief in American history, and several towns in the States are named after him. Besides being sung at sea, this song figured in old public school collections. Now, the canoe-going, fur-trading voyageurs, they were great singers, and songs were a really important part of their culture, much like the fishermen here on the East Coast. Also, in the early 19th century, flatboatmen who plied the Missouri River were known for their shanties, including O Shenandoah. And sailors heading down the Mississippi River picked up the song, and it became a captain's shanty on deck. And they would sing while hauling in the anchor. Not sure, actually, excuse that phrase. That's a misphrase. So basically, Shenandoah. Now I'm going to give you the lyrics as notated pre 1860. Now this has formed many different versions, this song, but these are the ones that were that Percy Grainger recorded in 1906, and they're believed to date back pre 1860. Missouri, she's a mighty river, away, rolling river. The Redskins' camp lies on its borders. Ah, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. The white man loved the Indian maiden, away, rolling river. With notions his canoe was laden. Ah, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, I love your daughter, away, rolling river. I'll take her across yon rolling water. Ah, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. The chief disdained. Excuse me, I've got caught a fit of the giggles. The chief disdained the trader's dollars. Away, you rolling river. My daughter never you shall follow. Ah, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. At last there came a Yankee skipper, away, rolling river. He winked his eye and he tipped his flipper. Aha, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. He sold the chief his fire water, away, rolling river. And crossed the river he stole his daughter. Ah, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to hear you. Away, rolling river, across the wide and the rolling river. Ah, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri. Ah, I'm bound away, across the wide Missouri.
Well, that sure is a tasty version. I like that. There's not the melody I knew, but it certainly will be the one I use if
Probably
I ever
not
sing
the
again.
one I knew either. I have to apologise for giggling. Stan was taking his jumper off and managed to trip over, and rather than help him, I just laughed.
Yeah. Comment there from Angie Ainsworth. She says, my late father used to sing this to me when I was a child. Always loved it. Brings back many happy memories and a tear to my eyes. Well, you've given us some beautiful comments this evening, Angie. So thank you very much. And isn't it true that the right song can make you remember everything or forget everything? Jackie Draper says, very nice, Paul. Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, not bad.
Until I giggled.
Well,
that slapstick comedy.
We're going to do it. We're going to have to. We assumed that we'd get some songs ready for this evening, as we normally do, and heavily rehearse and research them and share them. And looks like the last one that we prepared, we're about to do. So we might need to put some fodder in. But I'm going to tell you before I tell you what the song is going to be. Oh, Michelle says never heard that one before. Yeah, I mean it's certainly the Americans would gasp at you saying that, Michelle, because it's certainly well known there, but that version I did not know. That version I did not know. So lovely. And yeah, so this next song we're gonna do for you. Before I tell you what it is, I'm going to tell you a beautiful, beautiful story about that relates to the song and the songwriter. And the story goes that on February the 12th in 1983, there was a ship called the Marine Electric, and that was carrying a lot of coal from Norfolk, Virginia towards Somerset, Massachusetts. And the worst storm in nearly 4 decades blew up that night, started, and the ship sank about 4 a.m. the next morning, February 13th. The ship's chief mate was a 59-year-old guy called Robert or Bob Cusick, and he was trapped under the deck house as the ship went down. He'd had some considerable experience snorkeling, and this helped him avoid panic and just get to the surface. But he did have to spend the night alone, up to his neck in water, clinging to a mostly deflated lifeboat and in water only just above freezing, with air much colder than that. There were waves washing over him, and each time a wave came over, he said he wasn't sure that he would ever reach the surface again to breathe. He was battling hypothermia and tempted just to let go, fall unconscious, and let go of the lifeboat. And at that moment when he thought, I really just need to give up and give in to this, he remembered the concluding stanzas or choruses of a song called The Mary Ellen Carter by Stan Rogers. In particular, the lyrics that came to him, to Bob, were, "And you to whom adversity has dealt the final blow, with smiling bastards lying to you everywhere you go, turn to and put all your strength of arm and heart and brain, and like the Mary Ellen Carter, rise again, rise again, rise again, though your heart it be broken or life about to end. No matter what you've lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter, rise again." And he started to sing it in the water, submerged to his neck, with waves crashing over him, battling hypothermia, and alternately was shouting out, "Rise again," holding his breath as the waves washed over him. And at 7 that same morning, just a few hours later, a Coast Guard helicopter spotted him and pulled him to safety. Only 3 men of the 33 crew who had been aboard survived the wreck. And after this incredible kind of ordeal, Cusick wrote a letter to Stan Rogers, and he told him what had happened and how the song had literally saved his life. He told Stan Rogers that the song he wrote, the Mary Ellen Carter, had saved his life. And in response, Stan Rogers invited Cusick to attend what actually turned out to be the second to last concert Rogers ever performed. And there's a wonderful documentary called Warm Line, in which Cusick tells this story much more emotively than I could. But it's a wonderful song and a fantastic story. And certainly, can there be many songs that saved lives? Certainly, we know now that this was one of them that has. So, Mary Ellen Carter, and we'll pop the lyrics up as we do. Number 45, though, if you've got a folder at home and you would like to partake. Oh, he's done it already. She went down last October in a pouring driving rain. The skipper, he'd been drinking, and the mate, he felt no pain. Too close to 3 Mile Rock, and she was dealt her marble blow, and the Mary Ellen Carter settled low. There was just us 5 aboard her when she finally was awash. We worked like hell to save her, all heedless of the cost. And the groan she gave as she went down, it caused us to proclaim we'd make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again, rise again, rise again. Let her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Well, the owners rode her off, not a nickel would be spent. She gave 20 years of service and met her sorry end. But insurance paid the loss to us, then let her rest below. Then they laughed at us and said we had to go. But we talked of her all winter, some days around the clock. She's worth $250,000 afloat and at the dock. And with every jar that hit the bar, we swore we would remain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again, rise again, rise again. Let her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. All spring now we've been with her, on a barge lent by a friend. 3 dives a day and hard hat suit, and twice we've had the bends. Thank God it's only 60 feet and the currents here are slow, or I'd never have the strength to go below. But we've patched her ends, we've stopped her vents, dog hatched and porthole down, put cables to her fore and aft and girded her around. Tomorrow noon we hit the air and then take up the strain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again, rise again. Let her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. We couldn't leave her there, you see, to crumble into scale. She'd saved our lives so many times, living through the gale. And the laughing drunken rats who left her to a sorry grave, they won't be laughing then another day. And you to whom adversity has dealt the final blow, with smiling colours flying to you everywhere you go, turn to and put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain, and like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again, rise again, rise again. Rise again, rise again. Though your heart may be broken and life about to end, no matter what you lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again, like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again, like the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Okay, Mary Ellen Carter. I'm just gonna let Paul do a couple of comments, I think, because I'm just gonna retune my guitar.
I'm gonna come to the comments corner. Hello from comments corner.
Comments. You need a jingle.
Yeah, we've said that for weeks.
Have we?
Now
jingles, man.
Michelle Gallagher said never heard that one before, which we've already had. But Stephen said there'll be some North Americans out there gasping, and Marion Bouchette gasped. And then just to clarify, she said gasp in reference to Michelle never having heard Shenandoah before. And Michelle said, sorry, Marion, I've heard it now, so all's good. Yeah, that's a good point. I think we're back on an even keel, if you pardon the pun. And Maggie Clark said it was so popular when I was a child in reference to Shenandoah. Now, I know, I think it was Tennessee Ernie Ford did a very popular version of Shenandoah.
Oh, as in 16 tons?
Yeah, and what do you get? Shenandoah River. Yeah, I think he did a very popular version, but I'm pretty sure that would have been way before you were a child, Maggie Clark. Now, Amanda Miranda. Oh, you're still, I wasn't sure if you'd still be with us or if you'd be lost to the inane chat. Mary Ellen Carter is one of my favourites to sing along with, and it cheers me up whenever I hear it. What an amazing story to go with it. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Amanda Miranda. And I hope your working day is progressing well, and you're nearly coming to an end of your day, and you can go hit that. You can't hit that bar because you're in lockdown too. Mary Ellen Carter says Marion Bouchette is an appropriately inspirational song for these times. When you think you can't take one more minute of lockdown, turn to and put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain and rise again. Well, we tried to. Jude Burnett, who's been joining us from, I think, probably came to us from the Lowesoft History Sessions with Ivan Bunn, and they're on a Monday night, so watch out for them. There's 21 episodes of those so far. She says, is beaver or beaver to drink? I see, you could be coming from the beverage angle. We've had one other said, could it be a bevy? We'll have to find out shortly, won't we? And Sue Day says, well put, Marion, in reference to Mary Ellen Carter being a good anthem for our times of trouble during this pandemic. Before we've got a couple more to sing for you, but while Stephen is tuning his guitar, I'm going to go to our Suffolk word and phrase. How you heard it, boy. It is this week, this word here, beaver, or beaver, or beaver. We've had a few guesses, mainly around the beverage angle of it, bevy and whatnot. We've had a few other things mentioned. Trying to think what else. Anyway, Bill Lyman said, "Could bever be to be certain?" Well, let's find out now, shall we?
Have you got the book, or have I?
Be there.
There it is. Okay.
Be.
Well, feel like I need a like a drum roll or something. We haven't sorted that out all this time, have we? So, keep it going. It's going to take me a little while. He's going to get cramping a bit.
I fear it may take you longer now that you know.
Yeah. Okay. Beaver or bever is the afternoon snack of harvestmen and rural workers.
Oh, it's obvious when you think about it.
Yeah. Probably derived from the French buveur, a drinker, or from the Italian bevere, to drink, or to go farther, from the Latin ubiere, and ought therefore, and perhaps usually is, confined to a wet bever or beer. I take it to be about the same thing. This is old Edward Moore, as the Forzes, that is taken about 4 p.m. Forzes spelled Forzes. In more carnivorous days, it would have been time of meat, and the word may be deductible from beef. Certainly here in native Suffolk, where we know the word very well, meat is rather an indulgent pastime. Meat is rather an indulgent substitute for cheese. So there you go. Beaver, a snack, afternoon snack of harvestmen and rural workers.
Now, we've had one song about the Cape Horn, and we're not going to have another one because I misread. Now, in 1962, a young chap called Bobby Zimmerman.
Yeah, up and coming he was.
In the Greenwich Village scene.
Up and come, I'd say.
He up and came, yeah.
So we covered this way back when there's a young man called George Floyd who died or was killed, in fact, and we mentioned the sensitivities of racial slurs and racism, and earlier on in one of our songs, and maybe the reason that we actually bowdlerized or changed the lyrics, and this was a song that was written in 1962 and we covered when George Floyd died. A great song, lovely song called Oxford Town. If I can remember, I'm just playing in a tuning I'm not particularly familiar with. Oxford Town, everybody's got their heads bowed down. Sun don't shine above the ground. Ain't going down to Oxford Town. Should I put it in a different key? Yeah. Oxford Town. Oxford Town, everybody's got their heads bowed down. Sun don't shine above the ground. Ain't going down to Oxford Town. He went down to Oxford Town, guns and gloves followed him down, all because his face was brown. Better get away from Oxford Town. Oxford Town around the bend, come to the door and couldn't get in, all because of the color of his skin. Why'd you think about that, my friend? Me and my gal son, we got mad with a tear gas bomb. Don't even know why we come, going back where we come. Oxford Town in the afternoon, everybody singing a sorrowful tune. 2 men died in the Mississippi moon. Somebody better investigate soon. A lot of folks, they just cry because the safety the Lord provides don't extend to all sides. Another black man just died. Oxford Town, Bob Dylan. Sorry, Bob. I do apologise. And
he had a lot to say on race relations and civil rights, actually. Not only that wonderful, really moving, energetic song about Hurricane Carter called "The Story of the Hurricane," but also, of course, "Blowing in the Wind" provided the inspiration for "A Change Is Gonna Come." Sam Cooke said, "If a white man can write so well about the struggle of the black man, it's about time the black man wrote a song about his own strife." And yeah, "A Change Gonna Come" was written off the back of Sam Cooke hearing "Blowing in the Wind."
Yeah. Well, so I do apologise anyone who plays guitar well. That was me and Dad Fad. Dad Gad is often known as the folk tune, and that's Dad Fad, the D-A-D F sharp A-D. You can't do too much wrong in open tuning, but I seem to have managed it. And I think maybe we'll finish with let's finish with this one by Paul.
Which one?
That one.
It's a multiple choice.
We will say goodnight and thanks for listening with an appropriately titled "The Farewell Shanty." We're next Tuesday, which will be the 1st of December. My gosh, the 1st of December. Following Monday, we've just got a couple more left with Ivan. The following Monday, the 7th of December, will be our next history sessions with
penultimate.
Ivan. Penultimate, in fact.
22.
To number 22, which I guess means there's 23 in total.
Or as Benny Hill said, number 22.
And this is number 35. So we're here next week, 1st of December, with this is number 34. We're back next week with 35. So thank you very much for listening, and we're going to say goodbye with Farewell Shanty, or Padstow Farewell.
Now, if you have a folder, it's number 21 in your repertoire. If you don't, the lyrics should be appearing right now.
It is time to go now, haul away your anchor, haul away your anchor, 'tis our sailing time, get some sail upon her, haul away your halyards, haul away your halyards, 'tis our sailing time. Set her on her course now, haul away your foresheets, haul away your foresheets, 'tis our sailing time. Till the seas run under, haul away down channel, haul away down channel, on the evening tide. When my time is over, haul away for heaven, haul away for heaven. Lord, be at my side. Thank you.